Good morning, students. This is Mrs. Sadi Joseph, your science teacher. Welcome back to the online teaching for the session 2020-21. I hope all of you got your midterm exam timetable. 12th October onwards, your exam starts. Portion for science is lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 and 12. Lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 and 12 will be coming in the midterm exam. Total marks 40, 20 marks of MCQ type questions and 20 marks subjective type questions, means question answers will be coming in the exam. So start your preparations now onwards. Today we will start a new chapter, that is chapter 13, sound. How do you come to know that a period is over in your school? By hearing the bell. You can come to know that a period is over. By hearing the doorbell. You can know easily that someone is there at your door. Or by hearing the footsteps. You can make out that someone is approaching you. All of you are familiar with the game hide and seek. How you are playing this game? In this game, a person is blindfolded and has to catch the remaining players. How is the blindfolded person able to guess which player is closest to him or her? By hearing the sound. The blindfolded person is able to guess which player is closest to him or her. Sound plays an important role in our lives. It helps us to communicate with one another. Every day you can hear a variety of sounds in your surroundings. Sounds of vehicles, chirping of birds, whistling of cooker, etc., etc. You make a list of sounds you hear in your surroundings. That is an activity for you. If you are in a music room, you can hear the sounds produced by various musical instruments like a flute, tabla, harmonium, etc. Can you say how is sound produced? Yes, sound is produced by the vibration of objects. How does sound travel from one place to another? How do we hear sound? Why are some sounds louder than others? So many questions are there. We shall discuss such questions in this chapter. So our first question is how the sound is produced. And your answer is sound is produced by a vibrating body. When the body vibrates, it produces a sound. Touch the school bell when not in use. What do you feel? There is nothing happening in the bell. Again touch it when producing sound. You beat the bell and touch it. Can you feel it vibrating? Yes. You can feel that the bell is vibrating this time. We will do one activity. That is activity number 1 in your textbook. Take a metal plate, hang it at a convenient place in such a way that it does not touch any wall. See the figure? In this way, you have to hang the pan. Now strike it with a stick. Do you hear a sound? Yes, you can hear the sound. This time, touch the plate or pan gently with your finger. Do you feel the vibrations? Yes, you can feel the vibrations. Again, strike the plate with the stick and hold it tightly with your hands immediately after striking. Do you still hear the sound? No, you cannot hear the sound this time. Touch the plate after it stops producing sound. Can you feel the vibrations now? No, you cannot feel the vibrations now. Let us see another activity, that is activity number 2 in your textbook. Take a rubber band, put it around the longer side of a pencil box. Insert 2 pencils between the box and the stretched rubber. Now plug the rubber band somewhere in the middle. Do you hear any sound? Yes, there is a sound produced on plugging the rubber band. Does the band vibrate? Yes, the band vibrates. So this is the arrangement. In the previous class, you learnt that the to and fro or back and forth motion of an object is called vibration. What is vibration? The to and fro or the back and forth motion of an object is called a vibration. For example, the pendulum of a clock, it moves to and fro. So we can say its motion is vibratory motion. When a tightly stretched band is plucked, it vibrates and produces sound. The band moves to and fro and produces sound when it is plucked. When it stops vibrating, it does not produce any sound. So from these activities, we can conclude that the sound is produced when the object vibrates. Let us move on activity number 3. Take a metal dish, pour water in it, strike it at its edge with a spoon. Do you hear any sound? Yes, a very little sound is produced. Again, strike the dish and then touch it. Can you feel the dish vibrating? Yes, you can feel the dish is vibrating. Strike the dish again. Look at the surface of water. Do you see any waves there? Yes, there is a vibration at the surface of water. And a wave is produced there. Now hold the dish. What change do you observe on the surface of water? Can you explain the change? Yes, now there is no wave on the surface of water. When you hold the dish, no waves will be producing on the surface of water. The waves disappeared because the disturbances produced stopped by holding the dish. Waves are formed due to the disturbance in the medium. So when you hold the dish, what happens? The disturbance produced stopped. So the waves will disappear from the surface of water. The change of destruction waves was due to holding of the dish. So when you hold the dish, there is a change in the destruction of waves. You can see the vibrating dish produces waves in water. So the vibrating object produces sound. In some cases, the vibrations are easily visible to us, but in most cases, their amplitude is so small that we cannot see them. But we can feel that vibration. Even though it is not visible, we can feel that one. See another activity. Take a hollow coconut shell and make a musical instrument, ek tara. You can also make it with the help of an earthen pot. Play this instrument and identify its vibrating part. This type of musical instrument is called ek tara. You can make it easily at home and play it and see which part of this musical instrument is vibrating. One more activity for you. Make a list of familiar musical instruments and identify their vibrating parts. See table number 1. Musical instruments and their vibrating parts. Some examples are given. In Veena, which part is vibrating? Stretched string is the part producing sound. And in tabla, stretched membrane vibrates and produces sound. So complete this table. Many of you might have seen the manjira or cymbals, the ghadam and the nut. Nut means mud pots, and the kartal. These musical instruments are commonly used in many parts of our country, and these instruments are simply beaten or struck. Can you name a few other musical instruments of this type? Try to find out. This is known as khadam. This is the figure of a manjira. You too can make a musical instrument. See activity number 5. See activity number 5. Take 6 to 8 bowls or tumblers. Tumbler means glass. Fill them with water up to different levels, increasing gradually from one end to the other. Take 6 to 8 bowls or tumblers and fill them with water. The level of water should be in the increasing order. Now take a pencil and strike the bowls gently. Strike all of them in succession, means one after another. You will hear pleasant sounds. And this type of a musical instrument is called a jal tarang. See, this type of arrangement is called a jal tarang. It produces pleasant sound, musical sound when you beat on this one after another. When we pluck the string of an instrument like a sitar, the sound that we hear is not only that of the string. The whole instrument is forced to vibrate, and it is the sound of the vibration of the instrument that we hear. So musical instruments like a sitar produces the sound due to the vibration of the whole instrument, not only by the vibration of string. When we strike the membrane of a mridangam, the sound that we hear is not only that of the membrane, but of the whole body of the instrument. Even though you are striking on the membrane of mridangam, the whole body starts vibrating, and due to that, the sound is producing. Now let us see how the sound produced by humans. Speak loudly for a while, or sing a song, or buzz like a bee. Put your hands on your throat. Do you feel any vibration? Yes, you can feel some vibrations on your throat. There is a vibration as long as the sound is produced. In humans, the sound is produced by the voice box or the larynx. How the sound is produced in humans? It is by the voice box or the larynx. Put your fingers on the throat and find a hard bump that seems to move when you swallow. You can feel that there is a hard bump on your throat that moves up and down when you swallow things. This part of the body is known as the voice box. That is called the voice box. It is at the upper end of the windpipe. Two vocal cords are stretched across the voice box or larynx in such a way that it leaves a narrow slit between them for the passage of air. So two vocal cords are stretched across the voice box or larynx in such a way that it leaves a narrow slit. Slit means passage between them for the passage of air. You can see the figure. This is the voice box in humans. This is the diagram of voice box in humans. When the lungs force air through the slit, the vocal cords vibrate, producing sound. So how human beings produce sound? When the lungs force air through the slit, I told you there is a narrow slit between the vocal cords. So When the lungs force air through the slit, the vocal cords vibrate, producing the sound. Muscles attached to the vocal cords can make the cords tight or loose. So these vocal cords can adjust itself. It can become tight or loose with the help of muscles. When the vocal cords are tight and thin, the type of quality of voice is different from that when they are loose and thick. Let us see how the vocal cords function. Another activity is given, activity number 6. Take 2 rubber strips of the same size. Place these 2 pieces one above the other and stretch them tight. Now blow air through the gap between them. As the air blows through the stretched rubber strips, a sound is produced. You can also take a piece of paper with a narrow slit and hold it between your fingers. Now blow through the slit and listen to the sound. I think many of you are familiar with this, no? Now blow through the slit and listen to the sound. Our vocal cords produce sound in the similar manner. The vocal cords in men are about 20 millimeter long. In women, these are about 15 millimeter long. Children have very short vocal cords. This is the reason why the voice of men, women, and children are different. So, what is the reason for the difference in the sound of or the voices of men, women, and children? There is a difference in the length of the vocal cords in men, women, and children. Because of that, there is a difference in the voices of men, women, and children. So this is the end of today's module. Have a nice reading. I will come with a new topic in the next video. Till then, thank you. Bye bye and take care.